Hey, welcome to day 295. We are in Matthew, Mark, and Luke today, and we have 5 main points to make. So let's get started. People who come to Christ at the end of their lives get the exact same thing as those who started believing Christ as a young person. So let's read this part. It's Matthew chapter 20, 13 through 16. He answered one of them, "Friend, I haven't been unfair. Didn't you agree to work all day for the usual wage? Take your money and go. I wanted to pay this last worker the same as you. Is it against the law for me to do what I want with my money? Should you be jealous because I'm kind to others?" So those who are last now will be first then, and those who are first will be last. So this story was to show that no matter where you are, whenever you're found, you get the exact same benefit of knowing Christ as anybody else who came to Christ before you. And it's Jesus' will to do with that gift whatever he wants. So we shouldn't complain if somebody waited till the last second, their last breath, and they gave their life to Christ. What we should be doing is rejoicing with the angels. The next thing is Jesus goes on and predicts his death and resurrection, which the resurrection part was good to put in here. Mark 10, 33 through 34. "Listen," he said, "we're going up to Jerusalem, where the Son of Man will be betrayed to the leading priests and the teachers of religious law. They will sentence him to die and hand him over to the Romans. They will mock him, spit on him, flog him and with a whip, and kill him." Okay, so that we have a recurring thing that Jesus keeps saying to everybody. And then the very last thing he says, "But after 3 days, he will rise again." So there he's starting on your miracle sheet, you should say that he's predicting that he will rise from the grave. It's not a prediction. I mean, Jesus is God, so he knows those things are going to happen. All right, and the next thing is he predicts the disciples' deaths. So on Mark 10, verse 39 to 40, which is important to note because almost every one of the disciples went to a gruesome death. 39. "Oh yes," they replied, we are able to take this cup of suffering that you're talking about, that you're going to have to take." And he says, Jesus told him, "You will indeed drink from my bitter cup and be baptized with my baptism of suffering. But I have no right to say who will sit on my right or my left. But God has prepared those places for the ones he has chosen." So he says, you're going to definitely suffer from the same cup that I have to suffer from. But at the same time, then he says, but that's not a guarantee. You get to sit wherever you want. So he kind of shuts them down there and gives them bad news about their deaths. In Matthew 20, let's see here. Matthew 20, verse 32 and 34. So, 32, here we go. Is that right? Matthew 20, 32 to 34. There it is. "When Jesus heard them, he stopped, and he was talking about the blind men. 'What do you want me to do for you?' 'Lord,' they said, we want to see." Jesus felt sorry for them and touched their eyes. Instantly they could see. Then they followed him." So what's important about this one is, again, they were begging Jesus to heal them. They've never seen him. They're blind. And they just heard. And they're just trusting that he could heal them. So they have the faith, and so he heals them. Not because they deserved it, and that's what we need to get from this. Now, the last point I want to make is in Luke 19. And this starts, it's a story. Okay, so it's a story to correct the thought that the kingdom would start right away. So, people are figuring this out. He's the Messiah. He's coming in. They're going to throw blankets down the road. They're going to put palm branches down the road. He's coming in on a donkey, which we're going to read about tomorrow. And they're expecting the kingdom of God to come. And so he tells the story to correct that. Okay, so the Pharisees missed the boat. They didn't know he was the Messiah. And the people are assuming he's going to bring in the kingdom of God. And they're missing what is being said in the scriptures. And this is why we're studying, so that we aren't like those people. So that we have eyes to see and ears to hear. So here's the story. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Verse 11. Jesus, in verse 10, for the Son of Man came to seek and save those who were lost. Verse 11, the crowd was listening to everything Jesus said, and because he was nearing Jerusalem, he told them a story to correct the impression that the kingdom of God would begin right away. So there is evidence that he is trying to tell them, is like, let me tell you a story so that you understand that the kingdom of God is not happening right now. He is here, and we can be saved, but the kingdom of God is not coming to earth yet. So we're in the church age at this point, and Jesus is saying it's not happening yet. So that is your day 295. I'll see you tomorrow.